Did you know that so many brands have great ideas that never make it to market? And did you also know that so many startups and small brands close the doors to their businesses before they've even launched? How is this possible? Well, it is because in both cases they chose to work with the wrong manufacturer, a manufacturer who wasn't able to translate their idea into a finished product that's fit for the market, that would satisfy the demand on the market for this product. And while this can happen to any business, it happens even to the big brands, it's something that more often than not happens to small brands because they lack knowledge. They lack knowledge in the industry and they lack knowledge in the manufacturing process necessary to turn that idea into a finished product. Over the years, I've worked with many startups, with many small brands and fashionpreneurs, helping them develop those ideas into products or helping them fix the problems they've already faced in manufacturing half-baked ideas. And the one thing that I have learned and realized is that the lack of knowledge in the industry and of the processes allows them to ignore how important it is for them to own the product and to know the product really well before they go out looking for the right manufacturer. My name is Desi Tsolova. I'm the founder of Fashion Insiders, an online platform created to support fashion brands and fashionpreneurs in growing successfully and mindfully fashion brands. I'm also the creator of How to Find the Perfect Manufacturer for You and Your Product program, in which I teach you how to find the right manufacturer for you and for your product. And this is what this training video series are about, helping you discover what it takes to find the right manufacturer for you and your product. In today's video, we'll focus on the number one, the most important element that you need to have is the product. You need to own that product. You need to know your product better than anyone else in order to be able to then find the right manufacturer for you. To do that, you need to allow time. You need to allow time to understand who would be the ideal customer for that product. You need to allow time to understand who would be the competitors to you when you launch that product. What would make someone stop buying a competitor's product and move their cash to you and spend it with you buying your product? You also need to take the time to test the assumption you have made in your head about what that product would cost. And to, once you've then understood what the price point for your product is at which your customers will buy it, to then work out what the cost to make that product would be. And believe me, this is easier said than done. Most people make the mistakes, the fatal mistakes in many cases here. They undercharge their customers and they spend far too much money making a product that they cannot sell at a profitable price. Whether you choose to work with a professional or you do the work by yourself, the important thing here is to break down your idea and look at every individual element at the cost of your materials, speak to a sample maker or a pattern cutter and understand the process that will be required to turn this, to make this product, and to understand the labor involved in turning that idea into a finished product. The importance here is to understand what every phase of making this product will cost you and putting it together to see really what the real cost of your product would be, and then see how that corresponds to the selling price. Either way, you have to keep going backwards and forwards until you find a happy medium, until you find a cost price that correlates to the sale price and allows you to make a healthy profit margin. Knowing your cost price is the major element that you need to get right in this process. Knowing your product and how it's made that you have discovered through the process of working out your price is what will give you the intimate knowledge that you need to have of your product before you contact the manufacturer. Once you contact a manufacturer, then you would be able to tell straight away whether they're the right one or the wrong one just by talking to them about your product, by asking the questions you have already found out that you need answered in order to have your product made the way you envisaged it. As you have gone through that process and learned about your product, you would be able to then ask the right questions. Finding just someone to say, yes, I can make your product is not enough. You need to find the person who answers your questions and satisfies you that they know how to make your product, that they have made your product before for someone else, that they have the right machinery. And you would only be able to ask these questions when you know what your product is really and truly like. Briefing the factory you're going to work with and ensuring that the sample they make and the subsequent production matches that sample and is just as you want it is the tricky bit here. But it is not impossible. If you know how to set processes in place and how to work efficiently with the factories and how to brief them properly, then that would ensure that you will get at the end of the day what you asked for. That is the topic of our next training video. So stay tuned for the next video when we will discuss the process of how to work and brief a factory.